Greetings, beloved Princeton United Methodist Church community. It's Pastor Jenny, and I have some scripture for you from Mark chapter 10, verse 49. Jesus stood still and said, "Call him here." And they called the blind man, saying to him, "Take heart, get up. He is calling you." This is the word of life. Thanks be to God. So we are in the midst of our Powerful Purpose worship series. And as we talked about last Sunday in worship, we have both a general call, a general purpose, a general vocation that we all share. And that includes being God's beloved, being God's children, God's daughters, God's sons, God's children, being people with whom God is well pleased, not because we've done amazing things, but just because we are God's, that God has claimed us and named us and desires us as God's own. And we, out of that place of belovedness, we love and serve God and others and self and creation. We are meant to love and serve. And at one level, that's enough, right? That is enough. That is a very broad and general calling. Every other calling fits inside of that, underneath that big umbrella. Many of us, all of us, I would say, also have a particular calling, a special way, or many ways that we have been called by God, equipped, gifted, particularly suited in life for other callings as well, for more particular ways that we love and serve God and others too. So I know that you don't have the rest of the story right now. Feel free to look it up, Mark 10. We're also going to read it on Sunday in worship. But just to imagine yourself in the scene. You are sitting there on the street corner, and Jesus comes by and calls you to him. And Jesus' other disciples, his helpers, say, "Take heart, have courage, get up. Jesus is calling you." I wonder how you might imagine yourself in such a scene. Don't worry about why Jesus is calling right now for this person in the scripture. I'm just talking about you. Imagine what would be happening. Why would Jesus be calling you? What kind of courage would it take to get up and go to Jesus and hear what he has to say to you? Now, of course, there are particulars in this passage that may or may not fit your exact situation, but know that Jesus is calling to you, and there are hints all around us about how that is happening, what Jesus is calling us to. And in fact, the very question that Jesus asked this man in response to his coming when called is part of, I think, the clue for this person's life, as I think it is for you as well. So just to play with that scene, play with that image. What is it that you would imagine Jesus is summoning you to him for? What is Jesus calling you? What kind of courage does it take to get up and go and listen to what he is saying, to be in front of Jesus who is calling to you? So friends, we are continuing to be all virtual in worship for the next couple weeks at least. It looks like numbers are starting to come down, trends are going in the right direction. I'm still hearing from people every day who are testing positive newly for COVID, and it just continues to be really a struggle in our community. So continue to look for updates, but we will be all virtual on Sunday. As with last week, if you are somebody for whom that is a particular hardship and you feel that being in physical presence and worship, it will be essential to your emotional, spiritual, mental health, then please let us know and we will make some accommodations there for your care and your well-being. Otherwise, I invite you to be virtual with us on Sunday or through the week on demand as you would like. We also have, of course, Compassion Camp and Grow after the worship service is over. at 11:30, and this week starts our newcomers group at 11:30 as well. It also will be virtual, but know there's also an asynchronous way to do this as well. So if you've had trouble connecting with us at that particular time, or the season hasn't been quite right or something, then know that there is an option for asynchronously joining our newcomers group as well. So if you would like to know more about that, contact us in the church office. Lots of things going on in the church as always. We are going to be sharing lots more with you in the happenings as always in this email. I also invited you this past Sunday to we're gonna over this time of Epiphany, inviting you to look at a rule of life. I'm going to talk more about that in my video next week, and on Sunday you'll have some resources that can help you start to build that, to write that, to create that rule of life. So keep looking out for that, and more about that will come next week. Blessings to you all. I'm so grateful for you, and I'm grateful that you allow me to lead you and to journey with you through this season of life. Remember that you are enough because God is enough. Thanks be to God for that. Blessings.